You hear the knock at 2:13 a.m. Three bangs, not the usual courier rhythm, not the joke your street makes. Your chest tightens before your brain catches up. You sit very still. You have one phone, two pockets, a map of lies in your head. You remember every face you burned. You remember who smiled when you left. You remember the promise you made to yourself. They thought they controlled the ledger. They didn't expect you to flip the page. They didn't expect you to be alive long enough to write it. You move like a shadow, window, door, silence. Your hand finds the blade under the mattress. Old habit, old mistakes. Outside, a voice that used to order menus now orders bodies. A name you barely whispered at a safe house lands like a grenade. You realize the message isn't for you. It's for everyone you ever trusted. You are the headline. You are the crack in their system. You are a target. You make one call. Code word, Ember. Your contact's breath catches like a fuse. They tell you two things: a safe place, a time limit. You hang up. You have 90 minutes. That's a long time to die. Level 2. You move through your apartment like a rehearsal. Put out the cigarette. Fold a shirt over the blade. Pack light. Take the lighter they can trace. Leave the charger. You take the photograph of your mother. You stare at it until her eyes stop moving. You whisper what you promised. No heroics. Just survival. You hit the stairwell. No elevator. Too slow. Too loud. On the landing you pause. You listen. A winged sound, a car door closing 2 buildings down. They're sweeping. They come with names now, not bullets, names. One phone rings in a trunk. A second confirms a face. You fold into the shadows. Your neighbor sweeps by with a bag of groceries. She smells like cilantro and fear. You owe her nothing. You owe her everything. At the curb, a van idles. No logo, no license plate, just men with eyes like switches. You breathe through your teeth. You step into the street. A child laughs down the block. What a stupid, clean sound. You walk like you belong. Confidence is camouflage. Level 3. You reach the safe house, like a thief back from the altar. Door opens before you knock. Your contact is more ragged than the last time you saw him. He counts you like inventory. You show him the messages. He nods. They found your courier network. They found the meeting place 2 weeks ago. They found the woman with the stitches on her hand. They cased your habits. They didn't expect one mistake, one phone call overheard. One woman who trusted you enough to speak in the subway. You want to curse her out. You want to obliterate everything that led to this. But your hands are shaking for other reasons. You need a plan. Your contact lays out 3 routes. The first is fast. The second is dirty. The third is final. Fast gets you out of the city tonight. Dirty goes through the tunnels. Risky but untraceable. Final ends whatever is left of your old life. You think of your mother's photograph. You think of a court date in a city with bright windows and sleepy juries. You think of the kids' laugh on the corner. You pick dirty. The tunnels have no witnesses. They have no cameras. They have rats and damp and a choking smell you might describe as salvation. Your contact hands you a key. It opens one lock. Not the right one, but enough. You have 2 small bags. An extra mask. An old passport with a new scar. And the gun you swore you'd never use on yourself. Level 4. The entrance to the tunnels is through a shuttered seamstress shop. You climb through the back door that sticks. Your palms leave prints on rust. The air slams cold against your teeth. Concrete kisses the soles of your boots. You move single file through the darkness. No light but the glow of your phone strapped inside your sleeve. Your breath is a metronome. You remind yourself how to listen. Voices mean death. Silence means you're buried alive. Halfway, the ground stutters. You hear water. The map said no water. You stop. Something scrapes behind you. A whisper. A low, practiced voice. They found the shutter. They traced the seam. You are running out of ghosts. You push forward. The tunnel narrows. Your shoulder rubs stone. You taste iron. Your mind runs scenarios like a war reporter on speed. You will be cornered. You will be paraded. You will be bargaining with your life for someone else's silence. You can't die tonight for a debt someone else signed. You think of the safe money stashed under the loose floorboard. You think of the faces you sold to the law. You think of your own reflection when no one watches. You decide to fight the rules they wrote for you. You outpace the echo. A boot falls close enough to count. 3 sets of boots. They're closing. You take the left shaft. A ladder, a rat, a squeeze of light. You climb like a man who knows how to hurt. You come up inside a disused subway car. Graffiti stares like a jury. You step into the half-life of the city between schedules. Level 5. They wait above, 2 cars idling like predator teeth. You see a silhouette at one window. The leader watches the street like a king. You freeze. He smiles like he owns a calendar. You carry the photograph of your mother like contraband. You slide into the shadow of a pillar. You are not the only person out of options tonight. A woman with a stroller watches the scene with the tired interest of people who die small deaths daily. You could slip past, you could become a ghost again, but pride is a slow poison. The man at the window raises a hand. You hear a voice you used to respect call your name. You feel the world tilt. You step forward. The engine cuts. Silence sharpens. He calls out your alias. Not the name you were born with. He calls the name you used to belong to. You answer with your feet. You run. A gun speaks in the dark. Bullets find a mailbox. Glass becomes confetti. You sprint across the tracks. Your lungs burn with the taste of iron and fear. A second voice orders you to stop. You stop. You turn. The leader is closer than you thought. His smile is a blade. He lifts the photograph up to the window. He knows the woman in it. He tells you a secret. I knew her. The world condenses into those two words. You blink. You realize the cartel's memory isn't just about power. It's about family. You never knew family could haunt you like this. He offers you a bargain. Walk with me. Surrender what you have. They will spare you some small mercy. Tell us who else hurts us. They will give you a new life, a house, a lake, all the quiet things on a life list you never made. You think about the flight out. You think about the dirt under the loose floorboard. You think about your mother. You choose a word. Not yes, not no. A plan. You reach into your pocket and let the key drop, like a confession. It hits concrete and sings. For a second, he squints. Curiosity. You use it. You move fast. You lunge for the wheel of the waiting car. The world erupts around you. Hands, curses, a spray of light. You drive. You don't know how to drive that well. You steal speed and will. The car chews up distance. A gunshot pries the taillight loose. Your side mirror flips into a black eye. You think the car is more alive than the men who built it. You barrel toward a bridge. You can see the city like a spine. You think of burning your past on the overpass. You think of doing everything permanent. You swerve. You make the bridge. You feel like someone who's cheated the ledger. Level 6. You leave the city behind in a smear. Highway lights like scattered bones. You press the pedal for the first time in your life. Freedom tastes like speed. Your phone vibrates in the dash. A single text. Stop. No sender. Not a threat. A courtesy. You laugh without joy. You think of the safe house contact. You think of the lost courier. Your phone rings again. You answer. It's your contact. He tells you what you did not want to hear. They expected you to run. They expected you to choose life. They expected you to be predictable. You were stupid, he says. You were dangerous. But they are not the only ones who plan. He tells you a new route. A freight boat in 2 days. Cargo manifests are easier to fake when someone trusts you with a ledger. You will leave the passport. You will leave your name. You will leave the photograph in a mailbox. You will cross a border whose guards sleep with bribes on their tongues. You will be alone at sea. You will be small, but you will also be free. You ask, what about the people you betrayed? He hesitates. The line fills with static. There is no absolution, only survival. You think of the woman with the stroller. You think of the neighbor who smelled of cilantro. You think of the courtroom lights, bright and swallowing. You make one more choice. You decide to disappear intelligently. You call an old favor. A man you once saved pulls you a new name from a hat of grudges. He gives you a roof in exchange for a future favor. You accept. You pay the cost. At dawn, you are a passenger on a boat you can't name. The city shrinks behind you. The cartel's smoke hides the skyline like an apology. You watch it and let it go. You are not a hero. You are not a saint. You are a ledger that survived being balanced on a razor. You carry the knowledge of names in a head that no longer sleeps. You will never be wholly free. They will always be looking. But you learned how to move in the dark. You learned which locks are worth keeping. You learned which truths to trade. At sea, you make a promise to yourself. No more small betrayals. No more calls to lovers you do not trust. You will survive. You will disappear. You will live in a way that does not invite their calendar. The boat rocks beneath you like an old beast. You hold the photograph one last time. You set it on the rail. The salt takes it. It dissolves into a horizon that offers no verdict. You walk toward the bow. The future is a blank with teeth. You brace anyway. The cartel knows who you were. They will never stop wanting to know who you become. You smile without joy. You are ready to be unknowable.